gonna rock. We're gonna rock with it anyway. All right.
Tired of the silence, the sugar-coated lies. Another headline screaming behind vacant eyes. They build up their walls so high and so strong, but the truth's gonna break through before too long. Every single day, the same damn old game, pointing all the fingers, nobody takes the blame. This pressure's building, it's starting to crack. Ain't no turning back now, ain't no holding back. I'm about to say it, yeah, I'm about to scream. Tired of the fake smiles, living in a dream. The real life's bleeding out in the cold. Gotta break the mold, gotta let it unfold. I'm about to say it, every single word. The uncomfortable truth finally gonna be heard. I'm gonna say it.
Man, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. That intro song, it gets me every time we play it. It gets me started. It reminds me of why I'm doing this and what we're doing it for. It do. It really does. Um, Good morning to everybody. It's gonna be a terrific Thursday. Thank you all for joining me here at hashtag I'm gonna say it. I appreciate you. Your presence is definitely inspiring and nourishing. I appreciate that. So, as you know, hold on. Sorry, we got to take care of business.
Welcome to hashtag I'm gonna say it. All things said in today's show are alleged and for entertainment and educational purposes only. If you are below the age of 18, we request that you leave the live now. Enjoy.
Thank you, appreciate that. Hold on, there was a comment that came up, and I haven't been following the trial. Oh, Anthea says I haven't been following the trial. You've missed a lot. You've missed a lot. I just want to bring up yesterday, and then we're gonna play some audio on something else that I've been telling you about. We'll get to that in a minute. But first thing I want to open up with. Okay, so yesterday, as we figured and as was stated, it got a little more intense. Um, you had the stylist that came on that worked for Cassie and stuff like that, and gave some accounts of things that he witnessed and some things that happened. What his testimony did was basically give us more footing as to how Puffy Jacket operated things, right? And how the way he operated things made it a criminal, I don't know if I want to say ring or criminal enterprise, basically, right? So that was impactful. Now let's go to the LAPD, because the officer that was on the stand yesterday, he brought up some things that I'm not gonna lie to you all, man. It had me thinking about it all night. All night I was thinking about it, and I'm gonna tell you what I was thinking about. Well, first of all, let's go over what he said. The thing about it is, he said that there was a black Escalade that had been circling around, or they had seen come by Kid Cudi's place a few times, and that vehicle. Hey, morning, bestie. How you doing, Liz? Good morning. That vehicle, when they checked the registration of it, went to Bad Boy Productions. What that entails is that there is a direct. It creates a direct line of Puffy Jacket's company and a vehicle that was used in an arson case, in a trespassing case, in a breaking and entering case. And I'm not sure if they have a, 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 a law or a crime against uh, abuse to animals. I guess cruelty to animals. Yeah, there it is. So, and it's also put a direct line in that because Kid Cudi's puppy was there was some actions done to him that wasn't of good standard or good faith to what a person should do to an animal. Now, a lot of people are saying that, well, there was female handprint or fingerprints on the bottle. Good morning, Chrissy. How you doing, love? Welcome in. Let me help you all, let me help you all navigate that situation that may come up when you are talking about this to other people. Uh, in a Katera, I like that. Good morning. How you doing? Thank you for joining hashtag I'm gonna say it. The thing about that is, people, it was not enough of a fingerprint to say that it was, a female or anything like that. And even if it was, and this is their words, not mine, I love it. I love hearing it. Katira says he's blessed. I love it. Chrissy says, I woke up, so I'm already blessed. Amen. Amen to that. Yes, we are. And let's make sure we don't take that for granted. You are so right. You are so, both of y'all are right. So in that, they were trying to say that, here's what the defense team was trying to drive home with that. They were trying to basically say that it was Capricorn Clark who placed the in Kid Cudi's car. And where that was immediately dismissed because they said it was a 40-ounce St. Ives bottle. Shout out to St. Ives, man. We're taking it back to the 90s. But St. Ives bottle. And they were saying, well, that could be. Good morning. Hey, how you doing, Zay? Good morning, brother. They were saying that could be the person you bought it from at the store. That could be their fingerprints on, 2 fingerprints on there. So, no, we're not going to do that. Ryder B, good morning, brother. He says, good morning, brother. Too blessed to be stressed. Amen. Amen. OD, that's right, OD. I'm sorry, I said St. Ives. OD. Right, OD. You right, Katira. OD. I don't know what made me think about St. Ives. But yeah, that's right, OD. But that could have been a person that sold you that bottle from the store on your way over here. So no, we're not gonna, that's not it. That's not gonna work. So think about this though. Here's what really got me. Here's what really got me, people. When they talked about the fingerprint cards being destroyed. So the LAPD officer on the stand said he had never heard. Buenos dias to you too, Dimple Cheeks. Sorry, y'all, I got something on my finger. But he said in his time of being a law enforcement officer, he's never heard of fingerprint cards being destroyed. And so when they asked him, he was like, not to my best of my knowledge. No, I never ordered anything to be destroyed, so it shouldn't have been. Dimple Cheek says, I'm half asleep and half working, but I'm here. Hey, that's all you trying, baby. You trying. That's all we can ask you for. You trying. That little part right there, that little segment of the testimony yesterday sent me. Yeah, Dimple Cheek says this trial is aging on me. I get it. It's stressful. It's stressful. It really is because it's a lot of things that they're going through, right? And then we just need to get to the real McCoy. But this took me this particular segment of it, this particular testimony, that took me back to something because we've for those that's been following my show, we have already stated on several occasions to people, because especially when they be like, well, why didn't these alleged victims go to the police and tell them? And we said that the police work hand in hand with, not all of them, but some of them work hand in hand with Puffy Jacket. And so some victims, alleged victims, did go to the police and try to tell them. And the police only sent them back to Puffy Jacket. And so when he said that part, it showed that there was someone within LAPD sabotage evidence. And so it made me immediately start going back to this right here. This picture that you see me in. It took me right back here. And it's been on my mind all night. Well, if they destroyed that evidence, you guys, this is Wilshire Boulevard in Fairfax. I am standing at the intersection where one of the most greatest of all time hip hop artists, the Notorious B.I.G., lost his life. And it took me back to this. And I started to think, what if Puffy Jacket already had people that were on the LAPD back then in 1997, back then working for him or in cahoots with him, and helped him facilitate the unaliving of the Notorious B.I.G. What if, and I can't remember, forgive me in advance, but I think it was Detective Poole. I think his name was Poole. I could be wrong. But the detective that was working the Notorious B.I.G. unaliving, and they took him off of the case, and basically he was uncracking or not unearthing the fact that there was corruption going on within the police department. Dimple Cheek said he did. He said, I forgot the dude's name, but there was a cop they showed. I can't remember the cop's name neither. I know who you're talking about, the light-skinned cop. But what if? The mugshot. He was on the. Yeah. You're right. You talking about the mugshot, the one. He was an LAPD officer. He was. I know you talking about. They was talking about. What's his name was talking about that. Oh my God! On his platform, and I can't. The name of his platform is. Hold on, let me find it. Darnell Richards, I think that's his name. I could be wrong, but I think that's it. He did wrote songs with Tupac. Amanda Sweet Treats, hey, good morning. Be the light, welcome in, brother. How you doing? Thank you for that heart, me brother. I appreciate that. Thank you for the roses. Hey, I appreciate that heart, me. Thank you, Amanda Sweet Treats. Thank you for the Go Popular votes. I appreciate it, brother. But am I wrong? Do you get where I'm coming from? So if he was going to do the because okay, Capricorn Clark already said he was going to unalive Kid Cudi. That's what she said that he was going to do. I'm talking about Puffy Jacket and Big Rube and Uncle Paulie. That's what they were going over there to do. Unalive kid cutting. And in the midst of the LAPD investigating that crime scene right there, when they got the fingerprints, somebody within the LAPD that was on the scene right then destroyed the fingerprint cards that had the fingerprints on it. For what? For what? Dimple Cheek says, the more I hear with trial, the more I seriously feel nauseated. There is ego. There is narcissism. It is. Yeah. And then there's PD. Right. Then there's Puffy Jacket. Right. But I'm just saying, people, and I'm gonna land my plane on this one. But I'm just saying, if they corrupted the investigation at that scene, who's to say that Puffy Jacket didn't have people working for him on the LAPD March 9th, March 9th, 1997, at this intersection where Notorious B.I.G. was unalived. And every time the officer or the detective that was on the case got close, and when he found that there was corrupt within the LAPD, they kicked him off the case. What if they weren't already working with Puffy Jacket then and helping him unalive Notorious B.I.G. at this intersection right here? What if that is the reason why the vehicle carrying the Notorious B.I.G. was the only vehicle in the caravan that had the stickers on the wheels? Am I making sense? Am I thinking too hard? Maybe. But is it out of the realm of possibility? Could that be a far-fetched thing? And I'm going to let that marinate on you all for a minute. And as you go forward, you think about that. You think about that. Now, let's go to Kim C says, Camel Face all day. Yes, I believe he's involved too. Only because he knew as long as Notorious B.I.G. was alive, there's no way he would have the clout that he got in the hip-hop game. People, I stand, to anybody's opinion, but if you ask me, Camel Face isn't a good rapper at all. Period. And another reason why I believe he's in on that, Kim C, is because in the book, Kim Porter's book, she stated that Camel Face was telling Puffy Jacket about the Notorious B.I.G.'s business endeavor and how he was going to sign with another label. And it says in that book, I wish talking with JoJo was in here. I wish my bestie was in here. Hey, Philly, how you doing? Good morning. But thank you for the rose. I appreciate that, love. It says in that book that when Camel Face broke this news to Puffy Jacket, he stated he was no longer going to make sure that Notorious B.I.G. had protection because he wasn't loyal. And I just sit back and think, okay, well, if he said that allegedly, that's what she said he said. And I mean, I don't know why she would have a reason to lie, but if he said those things, I could seeing the narcissist that he is right now, I could see him being upset at the fact that he invested all of this money and his time into Notorious B.I.G. and Notorious B.I.G. had finally cemented his place in hip-hop royalty and decided to go elsewhere to make more money. I could see where Puffy Jacket would be upset by that. You get me? And I could see that would be his actions. As we see, Capricorn Clark was already saying that he was threatening her life on the first day, on her first day on the job. So again, in landing my plane, and we're pulling up to the tarmac. It took me back when the officer on the stand, the LAPD officer said that on the stand. It took me back to what took place at this intersection, March 9th, 1997. And I'm thinking, okay, well, if they covered up or sabotaged evidence when Puffy Jacket did this to Kid Cudi, who's to say he didn't have people on the LAPD helping him cover up the Notorious B.I.G. unaliving in this very intersection in 1997? All right. So I landed the plane. We pulled up to the tarmac on that. I had to get that off my chest. I have been thinking about that all night. All right. So now, for those of you that have been watching my show and following me, even the original on the original platform, uh, and here you've been keeping up with me. Philly said, "Real talk. It makes sense, don't it?" Philly, talk to me. It makes sense, don't it? It makes sense. When you stop and put everything in perspective and you go by things, the events that played out, it makes sense. Long live Notorious B.I.G., the greatest rapper of all time. If you've been following the shows, you know we stated before just why Puffy Jacket is going through this. And hold on, I'm sorry, Anthea. I'm sorry, baby. That went up too fast. Okay, it says he's guilty of all accusations. He paid off P department and extorted everyone to gain power. I can honestly and truly and wholeheartedly say to you, Anthea, that I agree with that statement. Philly said, hell yeah. You see, it just all makes sense. Dimple Cheek says, if the LA riots, O.J. Simpson trial didn't open your eyes to the corrupt police, nothing ever will. You are so right, Dimple Cheeks. You are so right. There was a Pac and Big all set up. I agree. And Thea said he put fear in them and never come forward. Right. Right. He scared them all. Francis says if that's the case, it would mean that they took evidence from the cameras in the area. Could very well be. It wouldn't be the first time, Francis. Karma, I love how you did that. Karma says, "Oh yes, we've always known LAPD is corrupt." See, and it this is it's validated in the Kid Cudi case, and I get it, I do get it that in 1997 at this intersection we didn't have the technology that we do here. I mean that we do now, so I do get that, but that still doesn't mean it didn't happen. It doesn't. Excuse me, y'all. It doesn't mean it didn't happen. Marie, good morning, Bestie. How you doing? Oh yeah, Karma Rodney King. How could we ever forget that? I remember that, and we saw what we saw, and they all got off. So LAPD has a history of being corrupt, and even though it was exposed yesterday, you know, I still had to go back to this right here. Dimple Cheek says, "Same here in New York. We can't go anywhere without cameras. So if stuff goes down, you can't hide. Yeah, you cannot." And Thea says he held those parties to put others in compromising situations. Carmen said, and racist. Yeah, yeah, I think that was his motive. I think that he wanted to get dirt on these people in case he ever needed or wanted to blackmail them. Dimple Cheek says they are very easy to pay off in LA, it seems. Yeah, I could see that because of what all is going on there. Hollywood, the celebrity lifestyle. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, you said it earlier, just a few minutes ago. Same in New York, but I just feel like LA is probably more. I don't want to say loose with it. I don't know. They just like Is Eric Adams part of this? I haven't heard his name. And Thea says that's where the charges come from. It's considered organized crime. Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. And see, that's what I was saying as far as the officer that was on the stand yesterday when he stated that. Uh, Hold on, let me say, Be the Light says Tupac was unalive before Biggie. Yeah, he was. I just think he was unalive because he was going to expose Puffy Jacket's fruitivity, if we can say that. I'm trying to think of words here, brother. But the fruitivity that Puffy Jacket had going on, and the fact that Puffy Jacket liked him, but didn't want to engage in those same activities. And Thea says Tupac is alive. I've heard that. I've heard that before too. I've heard that before too. But let me move on. I'm gonna move on so you all can have your day. I don't want to hold you too long. So, if you have been following the show, one thing that I've always stated since this whole thing with people like, well, why is it just Puffy Jacket? Why isn't other people coming in or being held accountable for their actions? They did just as much wrong as he did. That is something I am not arguing against you with. I am in agreement with you on that. However, like I've been telling you all, and I'll tell you again, Puffy Jacket didn't play his position. Gina Proto, thank you for the love you so much. And I love you, bestie. Thank you so much. He got to you understand. Let me put it to you all in this way, in this form. When these people and I'm gonna try to put it or deliver it in a way that TikTok don't have to be sensitive and cut me off and interrupt the live and stuff like that, okay, like they normally do. Okay? So just bear with me. The reason Puffy Jacket is going through what he's going through now, we're gonna play some audio from this guy. I've listened to some, but not all of it, so I hope he gets to it. But when these people in high places, in the upper position, in the elite society, follow me through here. When they, yes, dimple cheeks, yes, when they invest in you, okay, let's put it this way. So what they invested into that's me, not him. I'm thinking his pictures up there. Puffy Jacket, to make him be in the position that he was in, his fortunes, the opportunities that he gotten, the crimes that he gotten out of and gotten away with, that was all due to them covering him and backing him. So once they done all of that, and then you go and you try to sue a company that is involved in the adult beverage business, because the adult beverage is a major profit for our country. Okay, it's a major thing. So when he went on his own and sued or filed a lawsuit against these people, or decided to go on his own and do his own thing as far as whatever actions he took, that was frowned upon in the people that's in the higher position in the elite group. I want to say the name, but I can't say the name. Okay? Dimple Cheek says she wants you all to Google the Chin Gigante. Did I say that right? Mobster in Brooklyn. Chive Davis is trying to do the same thing. Okay, so y'all go look at her. Make sure y'all write that down or get note of that and go check it out. Right, Philly. Exactly. He was getting out of hand. The control, the power Oh, I knew what you meant, Dimple Cheeks. I got you. The control, the power, it it had gotten to him. He thought he was untouchable. He thought he was bigger than the system. Demetrius one time supreme, my brother says, BLK rock group. That part, you know, that part. You got to play your position. You got to play your part. Look, if we're going to give you this fame, this wealth, this fortune, the high life, everything, the glitz and the glamour, you got to do what we tell you to do. And you don't deviate from the plan. And that's what Puffy Jacket did. So now, what I'm going to play, and I never listened to this brother before. This is the first time. Actually, Bestie sent it to me yesterday. And she was like, this is what you've been saying the whole time. And so his name is Urban Legend Will Evans on YouTube. Urban Legend Will Evans. And the title says 50 Cent reveals that, you know what? I'm going to use Tupac's word. Killuminati. Killuminati. Behind Puffy Jacket trial. Right, Philly? They were tired of his shenanigans. They was tired of him thinking that he ran stuff. Listen, you've done things. They're looking at it like you've done things that the average person wouldn't even see the light of day for again. Okay, Anthea, have a great day. Make sure you come back. Be safe out there. Normal people wouldn't have seen the light of day for, and we allowed you to get off with it. We allowed you to get away with it. And this is what you do? Be the Light says 50 Cent and Eminem were always talking about Puffy Jacket being fruity. Yes, they were. Look, they were, and they were right. They were right. The thing about it with that, Be the Light, and this is just my opinion, I feel like Puffy Jacket knew that 50 Cent knew them real people up in Harlem. Them hitters, if you feel me. And that if he went after him like that, he knew what them the group of people that 50 knew would come back and put in that work on him. You get me? Dimple Cheek says, oh, by the way, I was never on a panel on a live, so I need your coaching how to join on Saturday. Okay, all right. Okay, I'll get you. We'll sidebar on that. We'll have a private message and I'll tell you how to do it. Philly says it's bigger than him being fruity. He had too much information and being reckless. Yeah, and I'm not. Yeah, the only reason I was saying as far as the fruity part, that's the Pac. I think that's why he wanted him deleted. But this particular case, while he's on trial now, while he's facing this, and I'm going to tell you all, I don't think he's going to get off. Let me say it this way: he's not going to get off because of all the information he has on people. And there's those same people we speak of that's in these higher positions in the elite group don't want their dirt coming out neither. Right? Now, the only way that he will see the light of day or maybe get out is if he flip and turn witness for the prosecution. That's the only way this works. That's the only way it works to help them bring down the bigger people, right? Now, in the event that he does that, I'm going to be honest with you again. I'm not sure if he'll last long out here in the outside world. Because those same said people know how to have people removed. Where do you think Puffy Jacket learned it from? Be the Light says Puffy Jacket was on Jeffrey E's flight log. See, they all partied together. They all did this together. This is something that's been happening with them for some time now. Karma says, I believe that is the top of the heap. Uh-oh, it went up. I believe that is the top of the heap. Here is the big people. Yeah, and I think it's going to start coming out too. Some more people. I don't know how big, but I think more names are going to come out. Karma said Jeffrey was a tool for the Messiah to get dirt and powerful people. Yeah, and they looked out for him too. I mean, let's be honest. When he was first caught down in, was it Palm Beach, Florida, or whatnot, uh, he should have gotten more than what he gotten in, and he got off. Salute to you all too. It's coffee. Salute to my coffee drinkers, tea, juice, energy drinks, whatever you have to get your day started. But we're gonna play this, and let's see if he actually mentions it. If it's like 40 something minutes long, we won't listen to all of it, right? So, Francis says, "Do you believe Gene Deal will testify?" Hold on. Shout out, Francis. I'm glad you brought Big Gene up. Hey, uh, if they ask him, yes. Let me ask you a question first before I get excited. Yes, I do believe that if they ask him, he will. He said he will if they ask him. But since you brought him up, let's give it up for Big Gene Deal. Hey, I don't know how many of y'all was in tune with it or know the news that was happening yesterday, but day before yesterday, follow me now, day before yesterday, it was some content creator that was all okay. Tisa Tales was interviewing Big Gene outside the courthouse, and it was this content creator. It started with a D. I can't remember his name, but he was just. I'm talking about. He was acting out of pocket. Talking with JoJo. That's my bestie. There she is. Thank you for the heart, me. I was just talking about you earlier, but when Tisa Tales was doing the interview with Big Gene outside the courtroom, man, I'm trying. It's taking everything in me not to laugh, but this man was in. He was just yelling recklessly outside. I mean, at Gene Deal. Like, wasn't you there with? And I'm paraphrasing, but I'm just putting it along the lines. I can't say word for word what he said. I can't remember, but he was like, he did an interview with. I shared this. I shared this with you, Bestie. Talking with JoJo. I was talking. I shared it with you. What is this dude's name? Pittman. Pittman. He said he did an interview with Randy Pittman, and the night before. So we're going day before yesterday, and so it was the night before, day before yesterday, right? Randy Pittman. So the content creator was saying he did an interview with Randy Pittman the prior night, and he was saying Randy Pittman was telling him that Big Gene was there and held people down while they was getting raped, and saying that he was part of it and everything. And Tisa Tales was like, Big Gene, focus on me, because I ain't gonna lie. Unc looked like he was about to go beat Buddy right there on the steps of the courthouse. When I tell you, it looked like Gene had zero give a fucks. They was nowhere present. They wasn't in the orbit, right? He had no care for it. Like, but shout out to Tisa Tales because she kept him composed and on the interview that she was trying to get from Big Gene. Now, let's go to yesterday. Let's go to yesterday. Now, that same guy that was yelling and talking reckless, and don't get me wrong, even after she did the interview with Gene and Gene had walked off, this same dude sat there and chastised and slandered and disrespected Tisa Tales during her live. You can go see this on YouTube. So then, let's go to yesterday. Yesterday, Big Gene was driving to the courthouse, and he was doing a live while he was driving to the courthouse. And he was talking about the guy who was shouting at him when Tisa Tales was interviewing him. And he was like, yeah, I'm about to go find him. Hopefully I see him, when I get up here. And he was like, I think it's this guy down here. And because he had a posting of the guy doing the show on one of the guys' lives. And so he was pointing down to him. But this same content creator shared it. And talking about Big Gene, talking about he gonna knock me out. No, talking about he gonna be looking for me. That's what he said. He gonna be looking for me and something like that. And people on his, I didn't say nothing. But people were saying on the comments, they were like, man, Gene old now. He need to sit down. This ain't in the 90s no more. He can't do this and that. I didn't say nothing. I didn't say nothing. I saw what they were saying. And I was like, okay. I saw what Gene was saying, and Gene looked serious the day before when Tisa Tales was interviewing him, and he looked even more serious on this video, on this live he was doing. And so, as faith would have it, we have a just God. And I don't want to bring God into this, but I'm just saying, we have a just God. He allows us to make decisions. Whatever decision you choose to make, there's consequence with said decision. Right or wrong. Right or wrong. Thank you for the Rosa, bestie. I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, so that guy chose to play with Big Gene. Now, thank you for the rose, Kay. I appreciate that, love. As faith would have it, Big Gene saw that content creator when he got to the courthouse. And they said Big Gene knocked him out cold. See? Content creators. Let me listen. If you're gonna do stuff like this, if you're gonna talk about stuff like this, matter of fact, if you do it, just make sure you have some kind of professionalism about you. Otherwise, leave it to me and talking with JoJo. Right? We do it in a way that's not going to get us knocked out. Right? Now, think about it. You did all of that during that woman's interview with Gene, Tisa Tell's interview with Gene. You wanted his attention, and you got it. It just so happened somebody probably had to wake you up to remind you that you got his attention and how you got it. But you got it. Bessie says, be respectful even when calling out people out. Exactly. That's it. There's a way you got to do it. You can present it in a professional manner, in a tasteful manner. But you all on the courthouse steps yelling at this man, trying to accuse him of participating in Puffy Jacket's craziness, instead of just going up and interviewing that man respectfully and acting right. And then when he did his live talking about he was on his way to the courthouse, and if he see you, he gonna show you his handwork. I'm paraphrasing. Big Gene was para-actioning. He brought it to real life. But he told you he's gonna show you his handwork. And what happened? He saw you at the courthouse and you got knocked out. So here, let's give it up for you. You wanted to be famous? There you go. You famous. Knocked your whole spirit out your body, boy. Look at him. Don't play with people, man. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it, man. Just act right. All right, I'm sorry. I just wanted, when she brought that up, Francis, I appreciate you, because I meant to talk about that and I forgot. But yeah, shout out to Big Gene. And for everybody that was on that content creator's post, gassing him up, talking about Gene need to sit down. He old. This ain't the 90s no more. He can't do nothing. He can ask your man's how his face feel. I bet he know Big Gene still hit hard. I bet he'll tell you that. Maybe not. He probably can't remember. He knocked him out. Anywho, let's move on. So, let's see if the urban legend Will Evans talk about what I've been saying. That the reason Puffy Jacket is the one on trial now is because he made the elite group upset.
I'm blessed to be here. I'm glad that you guys are here. We have a story for you guys today. 50 Cent has claimed that not everything that Diddy's going through, but the speed at which Diddy is going through, the trial that he's going through in the criminal case and how fast it happened is because he pissed off a certain person or a certain group of people in the Illuminati, them top tier elitist executives. And we're going to listen to what 50 had to say on this live stream. We're going to break it down. I'm going to go through all the articles to back up what 50 said and see if what he said is the truth. As a side note, I love 50 as an entertainer and as an entrepreneur because I actually learned a lot of my marketing. If you don't know, 50 has shown me a lot of love. He's posted me on his Instagram a lot of times. He's called me smart, said I'm one of the smartest kids he ever saw, and a lot of things. So there is some bias there, obviously, but I love 50. And I think that he says a lot of smart things, and he says things. He taught me how to say things in a way.
Egg, grocery, and gas prices are going up.
They just come out of nowhere, and I don't be waiting. I don't know they're coming up.
Like complex ideas, make them very simple for people to understand. He also taught me a lot about marketing. And a marketing law that 50 taught me was how to use the marketing of people. And then he was clowning it. Is out of control.
All right, now he's just talking about the different AI things that 50 is.
He said something about 50 Diddy
making
and Jay.
About Puffy.
Said, Jay, we friends to the end. We blew up Kid Cudi car together. That's what 50 said.
Yes, they do. They do.
This stuff got to be documented.
Hey, Carol, thank you. Hilarious. Thank you for the heart me. I appreciate it.
He just put up a picture.
Hold on. Hold on, people. Because he has and these are all AI generated, I believe, I'm going to say. But he has a picture of Puffy jacket. It's like they're on a motorcycle or something. But he's sitting behind Jeffrey E. with his hands around him, right? And let's see, the other one he just showed. It's Camel Face and Puffy jacket together. But then it has Tupac looking at them smiling.
Let's see what this one. This was the video where the protesters outside the courthouse were saying that they were being paid $20 an hour. I showed you guys this previously.
Yeah, we talked about that.
And that's to avoid the lawsuit. He put the article up. And it says, fear for daughter's safety. Around the same time, her daughter reached out about the tape threat. Diddy reached out to Cassie's mom asking for $20,000 to recoup the money he had spent on Cassie. So Cassie's mom testified at court.
Oh, for my free Diddy people, that's called extortion. That's a crime.
And said this. It says Combs was angry. Her daughter was now in a relationship with Kid Cudi. The only way that Cassie's mom and her husband could help get the money was to take out a home equity line of credit, which is a HELOC, on their house. And then she wired the money to the bad boy account. 5 days later, the money was returned to her account. And the jury saw photos of Cassie's mom that Cassie mom took of her daughter in December 2011 at their Connecticut home after Diddy physically allegedly assaulted her in an effort to keep evidence. She was bruised. This is a quote from Cassie's mom. She says she was bruised, and I wanted to make sure that we memorialized it.
That's wild.
So Diddy basically just was like on some grimy pull a power move, like, yeah, well, you're gonna have to give me $20,000 if you don't want this tape to come out. I guess. Let's see if this is something else, 50.
All right, hold on.
Nah.
I want
them uncomfortable. Did a deal that mirrored own the entire company.
Play that for you, and then we're gonna break it down. I have the articles here to support what 50 is saying. We're gonna play it for you, and then let you hear what he had to say, and we'll come back and we'll look at these articles. Check it out. One second.
Initially, when I get into a new venture, I finance it. Like I usually use my money to start, and then as we get into new positions, I may take investment dollars. But like if you look at Branson Cognac and Le Chemin Noir Champagne, I own the entire company. That's completely black owned. You have the experience with major corporations like me. My particular experience with Beam Suntory, it was great in the beginning. It's great for us to work for them. It's not so cool when you start to own things. You see what I'm saying? So I made a lot of money with them too. Like there's a point they did a deal that mirrored what Puffy's deal with Diageo was for Ciroc. So he didn't have ownership of that at any point, but he was getting a lot of money, like almost like $60 million a year at one point. So when you see him go to De Leon is when you see him have some issues. And they get bad. And these people have really strong relationships. Don't think that the civil case doesn't turn into a criminal case faster because he's making them uncomfortable. That's a big part of it. You know what I mean? Like, you look, when you go to the spirits business, it's not governed. They got a discus board that they created, right? If you got two companies that are $3 billion a year, and Beam Centauria and Diageo, the distribution level is very hard for.
Boy, them commercials, man. Dimple G, you not lying.
Point where you can do the right numbers, the amount. So
hit that like button.
The sales force by giving them box bonuses. And then when you sell the product, you get the bonuses off the boxes that's there. But you make that no matter what product you're selling.
It's wild, isn't it, Dimple G?
So if you sell Hennessy or Remy out the gate, they start to put downward pressure on the new companies. You see, I had a lawsuit with Remy. They said that because I had an oval-shaped bottle that there was some sort of product confusion, and I'm like, weird. It's a big B in the middle of the fucking bottle. Like, you don't own the shape, the whole shape of the bottle.
Right.
And then we had one in there for a little while until it came, I started saying shit like, 1738, I bet they had slaves.
So that's what 50 said.
All right. So basically, that he gave you the breakdown right then of where Puffy Jacket went wrong. All right, when he tried to sue the companies, the adult beverage companies that he was working with, right? He went against what the elite wanted him to do, and as 50 just told us, which we have to keep in mind, that 50 also is in the same field as far as having his own adult beverage brand. But the difference is 50 did it right. He did it tastefully. Right? But you got to think, he just said, these people, they bring in, I think he said $3 billion a year. Now, I don't even have to be part of the elite group that we're speaking on here. But if you're making $3 billion a year and you have basically put your partner on, your homegirl on, you put her in a position to get gainfully employ her with the wealth untold. You put her on to the game. And then she does something that basically could sabotage that $3 billion you've been making. And with your people that you're dealing with and that you're doing business with, it's what we call in the streets. Let me put it to you this way. It would be somebody you put on in the game going over you and dealing directly with the plug. Listen, that is a no-no in street life, and I'm sure in this life, when you got $3 billion on the table, you come talk to me, I take your concerns and what you got going on, and I go and talk to the plug, and then we try to come up with something and work it out that way to where everybody wins. But for you to just go on just all off script, out of character, and then you do that, and now you causing a rift between me and where I get my business from, After we done covered for you? Well, let's walk you down memory lane. City College, 9 people pass away. Kim Porter, the one, what you call them people who do the body? What you call them? The ME, the one ME, the first one that did it, and was saying that, hey, we got something not right here. Right. Bestie, the basketball game. That's 9 people, right? That's 9 sacrifices in one event. And he basically had to pay chump change for that. He didn't even have to pay everything. They got off on that. Chive Davis gave you all of that money for you to start your own record label after you got thrown out on your tail from Uptown. All that money. And then they had it set up. Chive Davis had it set up to where the Notorious B.I.G. was supposed to be in London doing promotional work, and you diverted that plan and had the Golden Goose bought to enemy territory knowing that it wasn't safe for him. So you tricked off that money. And you still ain't faced nothing. You went and you stole Sting, shout out to Sting, you stole his music to his song, and now you got to pay him, well, I think $2,000 a day or something like. I mean, the fact of the matter is, you still didn't even do good, claiming or proclaiming to do good or do something in your quote unquote best friend's honor, which I don't. You can't be your best friend. You had him unalive, but I digress. But you got away with it. Misa, Biggie was leaving after the RDT. Yes, he sure was. Butterfly Kales, welcome to the live. You know your stuff. Exactly, he was. And he had every right to. Why? Because you put him in a crappy deal in the beginning, and you knew you was taking advantage of him. You knew that he didn't know anything about the music industry. And instead of you recognizing the talent that you had and doing the right thing by him, you tried to steal from him like you did all your other artists. And so he decided, hey, now I learned the rap game. Now I know my worth. I'm going to a record company that's going to pay me my worth. And you couldn't stand it. The same way you can't stand it with these ladies when they want to do what they want to do, or they want to leave you and stuff like that. You get mad and you want to put your hands on them and stuff like that. You got away with all of that. Let's go, 1999. Let's go to the club where you know that this lady said you in the face, and you put it on Shine, and they let you walk from there. Shine took the fall. You didn't face nothing. Got off scot-free. Yes. Well, and Dimple Cheeks, she said, because I know they're not going to be able to see your comment in post-production. Dimple Cheeks says, just like Faith Evans marries Stevie J, another PD crony. Yes, and the word on the curb is that Puffy Jacket actually arranged for her to basically be with Notorious B.I.G. to keep an eye on him, keep tabs on him. Allegedly. Talking with JoJo is awesome job. Keep going. Thank you, Bessie. I'm mad, man. I'm in my feels. As you know, I told you, Notorious B.I.G. is my favorite rapper of all time. And I'm gonna be honest with you people. This hurt. Being right here in this intersection, Fairfax and Wilshire Boulevard, where he lost his life, man, I'm trying to tell you, it still is there. You still feel the sorrow. You still feel the sorrow from that night. I haven't. There's only 2 other places other than here where I had that same feeling, and that was when Michelle and I took our kids over to Birmingham, Alabama, to the 16th Street Baptist Church where the bombing happened and it killed those 4 girls. The sorrow's still there. You still feel it. And the other place is on our way back from Arizona. We took the kids to the Lorraine Motel, where the great Martin Luther King was unalive. The sorrow is still present there. All these years later, you feel it. You feel it in this intersection. Something was thrown off. Thank you. That's it, Karma. The residual energy. Thank you. Thank you. Let me give, because I could not find the word in my emotion. Yes, that's it. So if you ever down here in the Southeast or whatnot, make sure you make a stop in Memphis. Listen, they do tours here of the childhood home that Martin Luther King was raised in, born in, and raised in. And it's cool. The tour is cool. They still got some of the things that's been preserved out that was back in the day. They still got his dad's jacket hanging up and his dad's hat hanging up. And that's good. But you don't feel the same energy you get at this intersection or at the 16th Street bombing, 16th Street Baptist Church, or the Lorraine Motel where Dr. King was unalive. It's as if the ground are crying. And I don't want to sound insane up here. I'm just trying to convey the emotion to you, which I can't really do. It's something that you really have to go and feel yourself. But it's as if the ground is still crying. Francis said, do you believe Puffy Jacket is scared he's finally losing it all? I do. I think, put it like this. I think that when Cassie was on the stand, he still thought he had a chance. He still thought he could manipulate and play the system and get himself off. I think he still had possessed a false sense of him controlling what's going on. Even with Dawn Rashard, when she was on there, I still think he still possessed that same thought or feeling. But once Capricorn Clark, some of the SMEX workers, I think he started to feel the shifting in the tide. But definitely after Capricorn Clark, definitely after the LAPD was on the stand yesterday and the stylist was on the stand yesterday, I think he now knows that he is no longer in control. Butterfly Kale says Capricorn started to shut it all down. Amen. She did. I'm talking about she pulled the plug out the wall. And it's like, what's that Teddy P song? Teddy Pentagram, when he said, turn them off. Turn off the lights. He said, turn them off. Yeah, that's what she did. She just pulled the cord out the wall. She shut it all down. That's crazy because now in my head I hear the Kesha song, TikTok, and she says Popo shut us down, which ironically he produced, Puffy Jacket produced. Lord, stop playing. You funny. See, I think the Lord has a sense of humor too. But yeah, man. I think that's when he started to realize, hey, this isn't going how I thought it was gonna go. And to think they have more people coming. As a matter of fact, forgive me, because I was supposed to log on and see if any updates was coming through from court. Not that I see. Yeah, but I'm anxious to see how it plays out because I think it's only going to get worse from here, right? It's only going to get worse. Yesterday really did it. If you ask me, yesterday really did it. Because you have the police officer that put his vehicle Well, put the what was that that they used? I forgot. Whatever the car was, whatever the SUV was, but he directly linked it back to Bad Boy Productions. Hey Tracy, do you think KK will testify? Yes, I do believe she will flip. Justin, thank you for that Go Popular vote. I appreciate that, bro. Yes, I do. I do believe KK will, and I will tell you why. I believe KK is going to because KK wants to restore some kind of dignity that she clearly doesn't have. She wants to repair or restore it, I believe. So I think that's why she's going to do it. Um, okay, so let me read you all a few updates real quick from court. And just 4 minutes ago. So the defense representative is Donaldson right now, and he's speaking to Nash. Somebody told me who Nash was. Oh, the stylist. Did you get Cassie super? Oh, okay. So can't say that word on here. So did he get Cassie super when you take D rugs and you beam up? Okay. Nash says, "What? No, I did not. I." Judge says, "Mr. Nash." Donaldson says, "This 29th birthday, you say she packed Smex toys in her duffel bag from her bedroom, right?" Nash says, "Correct." Donaldson says, "Mr. Puffy Jacket, Mr. Puffy Jacket didn't say grab the Smex toys." Okay, so I guess he's trying to prove that she was with it on her own. Now, 43 seconds ago, Nash says they were going. Donaldson says, "On the golf cart, let's talk about Las Vegas, New Year's, 2016 to 2017. You said you were told Cassie was sleeping all day." Nash says, "Correct." Donaldson says, "Put up DX 1847, which I'm assuming that's evidence or exhibit, for the parties only." "What's this?" Nash says, "Cassie." All right, let me refresh and see if we got anything updated here. Okay, Donaldson says the low budget producer you mentioned was there. Now, I don't know who they could be talking about as far as that. Who's the low budget producer? But Nash says, "Yes, right next to me, snoring." Donaldson says, "You saw Cassie. I mean, you say Cassie told you another man was coming over and asked you to leave." Nash said, "Both of us." Donaldson says, "Your reaction was size." Nash says, "Yes." So I guess he was like, "Okay, we'll leave," or whatnot. And again, let me pause right here because, again, and this is just my personal opinion. The defense is not doing a great job. Because to me, it sounds like, and I could be wrong, but to me, it sounds like they are still trying to discredit Cassie's words and trying to prove that she was more of a willing participant than we think. And in my opinion, given what they suffered or what happened with Capricorn Clark's testimony, they need to be focusing on trying to smooth that out because, like we said earlier, she shut everything down. It's no longer about Cassie's gone. Congratulations to her and her husband on the birth of their child. She's done. So trying to go back and do all that, it's not going to work. I mean, it doesn't do any justice for Puffy Jacket. Okay, so Donaldson says, and this is 6 seconds ago. Donaldson says you saw a man walking around, knocking on the door, and they let him in. Nash said yes. Donaldson says there were not, and I guess it means no. There were no D-rugs, right? Nash says we were doing them in our separate places. Once I started working, I just started going. I was packing my 10 body, trash bag. I don't know if I would have used that reference in this at this time, given what's going on in this trial. But all right, 23 seconds ago, Donaldson says, then they went to a hotel, and again, she didn't tell you she didn't want to go, correct? Nash says, actually, she said she wanted to stay home, work on her music. Uh-oh, that backfired. Donaldson says, read the green. Nash says, enjoy y'all time together. Y'all don't get much of this. Again, right, dimple cheeks, potatoes are potatoes. That has nothing to do with it. Philly says Cassie already told her part without denial. Yes, bestie. That's what I'm saying. Everybody, listen, she done told us what she did and why she did it. And we done with that. She didn't try to hide anything. The thing about it with Cassie, sorry y'all, my head was itching. The thing about it with Cassie, man, when Cassie was on the stand, she owned up to what she did wrong. She didn't try to cut out this or manipulate the story or anything. What she did wrong, she did wrong. Let me see. Refresh it again. Yeah, honestly, I think the defense is losing. Because somebody, I forgot who it was, but they asked a few minutes ago if I believe that he's scared. Puffy Jacket is scared now, and yeah. So this also goes into what we're reading or what we've read. That goes into why I believe that too. Like I said, I believe he thought he was in control. Because you got to remember when Cassie was on the stand, Puffy Jacket was writing the questions he wanted his defense team to ask her on a piece of paper and then giving it to him, right? Thank you for the follow, Katie. I appreciate it. Welcome to hashtag I'm going to say it. And even in him writing these questions, the questions he was writing, it sounded like a jealous boyfriend that's been jealous for decades now, right? It had nothing to do as far as being geared to his freedom. It was more so, it was like he was trying to stroke his own ego and he wanted to hear her say that she still loved him or wanted him or craved for him or something like that. Repentant heart every day. How you doing? Said he shouldn't be scared now. I mean, and I think it was you that said it. Being in there, he gets what he likes. you know, uh, it's one of those things where it's no fun. How does the saying go? It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the. Isn't it funny how tables turn? Sayings like that. I think that's where we at with it. No longer is he in control. And again, a lot of people. Hold on. Sorry. Let me read you all this. That's you telling Cassie in January 2017 to enjoy her time with Puffy Jacket, correct? Nash said yes. Donaldson says Cassie wrote, I spoke up for myself. And you wrote, you wish you were with them on vacation. Nash says, no. I meant in Mexico, not with them. Now, Katie says, you reap what you sow. Facts. You are so right on that. Now, here we go again. We have the defense team trying to point out that Cassie was willing to go along with all of these things. Now, even in the part where it sit here, let me go back. Right here, where Cassie wrote, "I spoke up for myself." That lets, if I'm listening, and I'm using a mind, a mind that is operating right. I spoke up for myself. What I'm getting is she made that statement to say, "Hey, I'm starting to gain my independence. I'm starting to talk back. I'm starting to stand up for myself. I'm starting to get my strength to leave, to walk out." You get me? That doesn't tell me anything about her saying, "I spoke up for myself." Don't mean that she was willing. Hey, I didn't hear. I like being hit. I like being beat on. Anything like that. Right, dimple cheeks. Thank you. She felt like she had a voice again. She was getting back to herself prior to when she met Puffy Jacket. So that's what I get from that. The defense team is not doing good. And in fact, I wish Puffy Jacket would have paid me the money. I would have came and represented him. This trial would have been over in hour one. He did it. We rest our case. I done seen all the evidence that he gave me, and ain't nothing I can do for him. So that's how I would have did it. You think I was joking yesterday when I told y'all when Capricorn Clark was on the stand and she was talking, I would have gotten up with I'm talking about with the highest amount of respect for the courtroom. I would have gotten up, quiet as can be, quietly put my papers back in my briefcase, lowered and closed my briefcase so slow that nobody could have heard it, locked it, got up from the table sitting next to this buffoon, and walked out the courtroom. Because after what she said, how can I defend you? Katie says, poor lawyers, they ready to throw a book in him. I know that's right, girl. I listen. Talking with JoJo says, me too, Mr. B. I'm telling you, Bessie. I know they looking at him like, bruh, you had all of this. Hold on, let me get you.
Bruh, you had all this money. You could have gotten anything you wanted in your life. And this what you chose to do? You spent $10,000 on baby oil. What are you thinking? Do you hear what she said? Well, I'm not answering. No, I'm not asking that question. Matter of fact, I'm out.
That would have been me. That would have been me. You little freakazoid, man. What is you thinking? She said, and the chalkboard too. Yeah, look, we out, man. We going across the street to eat or watch this on somebody covering it because I can't be a part of it. Because you got to think, man, like, I know attorneys lie. I know it's their job to, but sometimes you just have to put morality into it, and there's just no way around it. At this point, we just asking dead end questions because the prosecution done already they done put people on the stand that's done blew the whole case wide open. What can we do? What can I ask that's gonna change anything? Okay. So Donaldson says Cassie wrote the next room is on the beach. This one on the golf course. I have everything organized. Nash says, I wrote laugh out loud. Do you all have a lot of S? Um, Donaldson says, Donald asked Cassie. Yes, but we met. So I guess they're like role playing now. And Donaldson is serving as Cassie. All right, so he's pretending to be Cassie. Yes, but we made it all fit. Nash says, girl, you always on vacation. Now, if I'm Puffy Jacket, which I'll never be, This is how I be looking at him.
Bruh, what kind of question is that? What does any of this got to do with how is this gonna get me free? What is that? You talking about a vacation? I need a vacation, and I ain't gonna never get one if you asking dumb questions like that.
That's me. That's what I would be right now if I was Puffy Jacket. Matter of fact, bro, sit down. Sit. Who else I got on my council that can ask questions? You in. Come in off the bench. Because this has nothing to do with the price of tea in China. All right. So Donaldson says you stayed in touch with Mr. Puffy Jacket. I'll be ready to say the name because I'm reading. Mr. Puffy Jacket. Nash says, yeah, because he was cutting up. So I'm assuming, I don't know if you mean cutting up by acting, insane or having fun. I don't know what you mean by that. But okay, so let's read on. Maybe they'll let us know. Donaldson says, oh, I get it. You did a seafood thing with Cassie. Nash says, correct. Donaldson, DX1814. You know Kim Porter, who tragically passed? Nash says, yes. Philly says, does Puffy Jacket have a character witness? Laughing my I don't know if he does. Good morning, Sharita. How you doing, bestie? I haven't heard. If he does, I'm trying to think who it could be. Outside the realm of Stevie J. I'm trying to think of who else takes up for him. Rita, how you doing, Vesty? Stevie J. Shoot, Stevie J. I'm trying to think of people that would take up for him, but like everybody's been silent now. Like, and his bestie definitely ain't saying. I know his bestie is not gonna come in on his behalf. Camel face. He got too much on him. Sharita said, "Good, good. I'm glad." Rita says, "Good. How are you doing?" I'm doing good, Bessie. Thank you. Oh yeah. Steve Hart. But you know what, people, and this isn't talked about much. But when it come to Steve, I would. Oh yeah, there you go. There you go, money. DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, Stevie J. No, that's all I know. That's it, Monet. You right. When it comes to Steve, I because allegedly after what he did to his son, Wynton, I don't think he needs to be anywhere near this. You see, I have no compassion for any parent that allegedly beats their child with a belt buckle to the point where it hit him in the private, and your child has to urinate blood and stuff like that. So, nah, I wouldn't want. And let's remember, Steve also allowed his daughter. That's not his daughter, not his biological daughter, but his daughter to have a relationship with Puffy Jacket after she had already dated Puffy Jacket's son. So the best thing for act like a lady, act like a woman, think like a man, Mr. Book Writing guy should do is just sit this one out. Because Mary already done told us what you did to your son. And there's no way you can come back from that. And then another reason why I don't think Steve would do that is because it's going to come up as far as his ex-wife and his children sneaking into that room that he forbidden them to go in the house, or forbade them to go in the house. And when he was out of town doing a show, they went into it anyway. And when they opened up the computer, this is alleged. I'm going to say alleged because I don't want to get myself in trouble, but I'm sharing some information with y'all. But when they opened up the computer, it was Fun Boy videos on there with two guys and a jar of Vaseline that had been used. So I think it's just best for him to sit this one out. I don't think if I'm Puffy Jacket, that's somebody I just don't even drive by the courthouse. Because there's no way he can help. He's got his own issues. Let's see. Where did I drop it? All right. So 4 minutes ago. Okay. Donaldson says, you knew Andre Harrell passed. Nash says, yes. Donaldson says, you text Mr. Puffy Jacket to make sure he's okay. Nash said, correct. Donaldson says, Mr. Puffy Jacket wrote you, the trainer? You could have given me a heads up. See? Look, did I just, okay. Philly said, what? A slap, a duck king? OMG. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Look, what did I just tell you? Remember a few minutes ago when I was saying that when Puffy Jacket was writing the questions down, when Cassie was on the stand, and Puffy Jacket was writing the questions down for his team to ask her, he sounded like a bitter boyfriend. Still, ex-boyfriend that got dumped for somebody better. What did we just read? What did he say? Donaldson says Puffy Jacket wrote to Nash, the hairstylist, or the stylist, whatever, the stylist. Puffy Jacket wrote to you, the trainer. That's when he found out Cassie was in a relationship with the trainer or was with the trainer. You could have given me a heads up. And then he sent black heart emojis. How is she? He meant Cassie. Okay, and then some people, you know, some people use black heart emojis as a sign of DEATH. Some people just use it because they like the color or whatnot and goes with their thing. So there's just different ways you could play with that. So he asked if Cassie was okay. And Nash said yes. She's happy with him, who she's with. She's okay. April 13 says, I'm waiting for Puffy Jacket to lose his temper during testimony. Me too, girl. Because look, they already nailing the coffin. I mean, this is Capricorn Clark with a hammer and nails at the coffin of Puffy Jacket. That's what she was doing. She was just nailing it. But that's really going to be, that's like the golden spike in it right there. You know? You get me? Yeah, it's the color. That's what I said. Yep, you're right. Okay, so then Donaldson says, in 2020, you wrote to Puffy Jacket, I love you. Anything you need, I got you. Nash said, yes. Donaldson says, Mr. Puffy Jacket won an award that year, and you congratulated him. Nash said, I don't think so. I asked how to RSVP to his party for someone else. Claire Solmers, I guess that's how you pronounce it. Sulmers. I guess it's Solmers. Okay, he said, Puffy Jacket, I scream every time you say it. Listen, look, I'm trying to make it to where I can get the message out, but not get the platform permanently banned again, right? Because a lot of these things we have been saying for over a year and a half now. You know, and shout out to Bestie. I think she's in here, Jenny. I think she's in here. Shout out to sending the video where we played earlier, where the guy was saying, 50 was telling he's in trouble because he made people in the Illuminati mad. That's why he's going through this. And we have been saying that. We matter of fact, we did that well over a year and a half ago. We talked about that, and we talked about I told you all about the symbols and how you can pick out the companies, and on TV shows when people are flashing it and letting you know that their alliance with that, and it's right in front of your face. Yeah, Shout out to you, bestie. Jenny, man, you make a great team. You make a great team. I appreciate you sending that. And you was right on with it. All right. Donaldson says, Cassie told you about a secret trip. And the prosecution says, objection. Object. Judge says, sustain. Donaldson says, you deeply care for Cassie for 15 years. Nash is like, yes. And Donaldson says, she kept secrets from you. Nash said, and I do from her. We don't have to tell each other everything. Listen. At this point, before things get any worse, Puffy Jacket should just jump up and say, I did it. I'm guilty. I'm done. Look, please. No mas. No mas. Something had just came up and now they took it down. I'm trying to figure out why. Where's that at? Hold on, people. I'm sorry. I'm trying to find. They had literally just. Okay, here it is. No, why did they keep taking it? What's going on? Anyway, he said no further questions, as if he had asked any that was relevant in the first place. Well, this was from 53 minutes ago, though. I don't think I read that. Cassie was upset by Gina. Nash said she'd say, girl, let's go out and do our thing. Donaldson says, do what she wanted to do? Nash said, actually, we are both pretty chill. Stayed in the house a lot, but that would be fair. Again, this has nothing. This is in no shape, form, or fashion. It's painting an illustration to where Puffy Jacket is innocent of what he's being accused of. Yeah, no further questions. Judge says redirect. The prosecution says, why were you afraid for her? Nash said things could get violent fast. Once again, nail in the coffin. What devices did Puffy Jacket use to film her? Nash said hers. Nash said hers. Prosecution says, you said they appeared to be their altered mind state. How about that? At the 29th birthday party. So I guess we're waiting for follow up on that. Angel, hey, bestie. Puffy Jacket attorneys are trying to get a mistrial over fingerprints. Yeah, well, and I don't know if you was in here. Were you in here earlier when I opened up the show talking about that? Or my take on that? Okay, yeah. So what do you think on that? Do you think that what happened at this intersection on March 9th, 1997, do you think that the LAPD helped him cover up that incident? The same way that they destroyed the fingerprint evidence in this one? Absolutely. Okay. All right. I'll just make it, because I know if I'm overthinking or overanalyzing, you're going to let me know. Okay. Okay. Man, well, and to your point of you saying that they're trying to get a mistrial, judging by these questions, I could definitely see that. Okay, like I said, the prosecution, you said they appear to be in a altered mind state on the 29th birthday party. Nash said yes. Prosecution says, was Mr. Puffy Jacket in control of his actions? Nash said yes. Prosecution says, and what did you say? Nash says, you're going to, what was that? United Heart. Thank you, Katie. I appreciate that. That was beautiful. Thank you, Katie. Thank you so much for that. And what did you say? Nash says, you're going to get some man part, well, what we know now is Tootsie Roll size, tonight. Nash said, prosecutor says, did she want to go? Nash said no. Prosecution says no further questions. Donaldson says nothing from me. Judge says, Mr. Nash, you are excused. So, there lies again. The defense team in Puffy Jacket has taken, I'm gonna whip yo butt. Don't you do that again. That's what they got. They got spanked. They got spanked. They got spanked. And I don't know who else is supposed to come up today on the stand. But I'm gonna tell you this. I don't know. Well, let's see. What do they have? They have 4 weeks left. Shira 95, how you doing? Says they took the L again. Yes, I'm talking about took it to the chest like Laverne. I mean, listen. Rita said it's the Tootsie Roll thing for me. Yeah, I mean, I listen. When Freddie P said that sent me. That was it. That was a wrap. And I'm like, okay. So that's why Puffy Jacket is acting this way. He got that little Tootsie energy going on. I wish I could find my shirt. I got one that says big energy, but that I made. But man, and I would post it on his Instagram if I could find it. Dog, you can't be this hostile when you walking around with a Tootsie Roll. Ain't no woman. Listen, man. Just I bet we're at a point now where every morning when they come to get him out of his cell, he probably just want to hold on and say, "No, I don't want to go," because it's gonna be like there's no coming back from it. I know they got 3 or 4 weeks left of the trial. But the thing about it is, after Capricorn Clark did her testimony, the prosecution team said, Your Honor, we probably not going to need all the time we got left. We pretty much got what we need now. And I'm paraphrasing, but that's what they were putting it to. They really was telling them, oh, we ain't going to go the whole time that you said. And so, to me, speaking like that, when the prosecution team speak like that, they are confident in that they got their case against you wrapped up. And if you are of sound mind and you literally pay attention to what's being said, you pretty much know they got it wrapped up too. I mean, I know people still, because of who he is, they still think that he could do no wrong and he's being made an example of and all of that. But I wonder if I need to. Trying to figure out why it has things and then it disappears. Okay, 2 minutes ago. Hopefully it stays. Prosecution, show it for the jury only. I guess is this a sidebar? Maybe I don't know. Defense representative is Brian Steele. I would like to see it too. Prosecution says, "Where are you from?" Oh, dun dun dun! Everybody, Mia has taken the stand. Now, basically said they were confident when they denied his bail. For real, that's true. Three times. What's the game? What's the rules to the game? 3 strikes and you out. He whiffed. But people, if you've been following us, we told you yesterday that Mia was supposed to take the stand. Now, the significance of this, it's being said that Mia is going to do more damage than Capricorn Clark did. Widow Love 33. Widow Love 33 says it's a wrap now. Exactly, yo. Listen, Listen. OMG. Okay. So Mia is on the stage. She's from Virginia Beach, Virginia. Prosecution says, who is this? Mia says, Puffy Jacket. Prosecution says, what did you call him? She says, well, Puff, the Magic Dragon. We'll say that. I worked for him as personal assistant. Mia, then as director of development and acquisitions for Revolt Films. That's like the little platform, streaming platform that he owns, Puffy Jacket owns. How was it working there? Mia said, Puffy Jacket mood changed all the time. Okay. Come on with it. Come on with it. Since they said who I've been waiting for her. Jenny gave the eyeball. Uh-oh. Business is about to pick up. Widow Love 33 says, so I may have heard that one of the jurors lied to be on the jury panel. Ooh. Did they figure that out? Did they already excuse him? Or are they still on there? Okay. Was he violent? This is the prosecution asking Mia. Was he violent to you? Mia said, yes. He's thrown things at me. He's thrown me against the wall, into a pool, ice bucket on my head, slammed my arms into the door, and he sexually assaulted me. Brother? Broham? Just walk back to jail. Spare yourself. Just walk back to jail. And this is significant because remember somebody was saying the other day he was throwing apples at Cassie, I think it was. I think it was Cassie he was throwing the apples at. Man. Ooh, she came on the booth. Fuego. Oh, man. Prosecution said, sexually assaulted you more than once? She said, that is correct. More than once. Prosecution says, did you want to be in the arts? Mia said, yes. This was before social media. I thought if I put my if I put my mattress on my car and drove to New York, I could do it. I went to work for, and I think that's Georgina Chapman, red carpet dressing. The prosecution says, then, she said, assistant to Mike Myers. Ooh, let's do the connection here. Remember Mike Myers? The one that played in Austin Powers? Right? Played in Austin Powers? Remember in the movie where he had the name D-I-D-D-Y tatted on him? Come on. Let me tell you what else that just done. For my slow for ones, because we do got slow for ones out there. Yep, Bessie said had Puffy Jacket tatted on. Exactly, sure did. Now, let's put this into context for our slow for ones that still can't figure out how this whole Ricardo thing is going to work. But what she just said, what she just admitted to was he basically used people knowing that they aspired to have a career in a certain industry, be it modeling, be it music, and took advantage of it. Okay. They told us that she was going to do more damage, but man, I didn't know she had damage for breakfast. She came in hot on them. Let's see. All right. Why? Why do y'all keep taking it away? I'm trying to read, people. Prosecution says, how did Puffy Jacket hire you? She said, come on, man. Hold on. Let me see if I do it this way. Will it work? That took me back. What are y'all doing with y'all life? Like, hold on, people. Took us back to March. Okay, so that's not what I want. That's not what I want. All right, hold on, people. Come on, y'all. We getting good. Don't be messing up on me now. Don't do that to us. No, they are not letting me. I wonder if. Hmm, it's not letting me read that. Every time I click on it, it vanishes. Okay, I might have it right. Hold on. How did you work? How did you? How did Puffy Jacket hire you? She says I met with a recruiter. I met with HR and Tony Baez Fletcher. Prosecution says, did Mr. Puffy Jacket interview me? Mia said he at his apartment. He did at his apartment. He was on the phone wearing his underwear. The HR lady left. Prosecution says, did he put on clothes? Mia said yes. But now here's the thing with that though. The thing about that is if you go because it was brought up that and I don't know how true this is as far as it if it was just brought up or not, but it's been alleged that it was brought up. Someone told me about it this morning about uh, a underage person, boy, lawsuit was out, and he says that he was I think 8 or 9. But the thing about that is, oh, hold on, this thing keeps falling out. The thing about that is, there was a boy that we covered that was around that age that stayed in L.A. and he met. Okay, Widow Love says yes, 9. Okay. So now, months, maybe a year ago, when we in one of the shows on the original platform, we talked about the 9-year-old boy. I mean, the 8-year-old boy that was yeah 9. You said 9, right? 9-year-old boy that was in L.A., lived in L.A., and was wanting to get into the business, and he met a talent agent for Puffy Jacket, and said talent agent arranged for the boy and his family to fly from LA to New York. And they met at a hotel. And the parents left the boy there. Oh, no. They had a car that took the boy to the hotel. The parents was not there at the time because they had to come back and pick him up. But he was there, and he said that Puffy Jacket was talking to him, and they asked him if he wanted something to drink, and they gave him. Thank you for the rose, Katie. I appreciate that, love. Thank you. They gave him a pop, but they had put something in the pop, and they took advantage. Well, Puffy Jacket took advantage of it. So I wonder if this is the same boy. I wonder. Okay. Did you get the job? Mia said yes. I was excited. Prosecutor says, how much did you expect to work? Mia said, a lot, but I didn't fully understand. Prosecutor said, how much were you paid? Mia said, $50,000. The prosecution says, what did you do on your first day? Mia said, HR told me I was on trial for 2 weeks. Prosecution asked, where did you start? She answered, his Alpine, his Alpine, New Jersey house. I was there all day. Prosecution said, then where? She answers, back to the office for a few hours more. Then I was told Puffy Jacket wanted me to come to the studio. Prosecution says, how long were you there? She says, until 1 p.m. the next day. And I believe that part is going to go to the unlawful work thing. Prosecution. Then then where did you go? She says, Puffy Jacket's apartment, then home. They ask her, how fast did you have to return? She said, I didn't take a nap. I didn't want to risk it. They ask her, how much did you sleep during the first 24 hours on the job? She said, I didn't. I took it as a challenge. Okay, there's no update yet. I guess they are getting the questions together to ask. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. All right, we'll give them a few minutes to update. We don't have. I don't think we. All right. 6 hand hearts. Widow Love, I appreciate that. Your support and love. I appreciate that. And I love you so much. Thank you. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the tiny diny. Oh, and the dolphin. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the love. Thank you all. I'm gonna try to wrap. We'll wrap at 11. Okay. Y'all give me 5 more minutes, if that's okay. Ah, man, I've been waiting for her, man. I've been waiting for her, and she has not disappointed. Let me tell you, she is as advertised. Widow Love says your chat is chill. Love this. Thank you, thank you. We pride ourselves on that. My moderators and I, we want a safe space and just a judgment free zone. We want everybody to just come in and have fun, and it's okay to disagree on certain things. It's just how you disagree, how you put it. But thank you so much for that compliment. That means so much. All right, let's see. Hold on, y'all. I gotta turn my fan back on. Hot out here, and it's a lot of action going on here in the newsroom. Let's see. I thought they said it was an update. I might have been tripping. No, I didn't. Okay. There have been a TV. There had been a TV show a few years before called "I Want to Work for Puffy Jacket." It was like that. That's what she said. Prosecution says, "How did you deal with the lack of sleep?" She said, "When I was young, I'd tell myself you can't sleep at 3 p.m." The defense says objection. Judge says overruled. All right. Well, I think this is going towards the working conditions more so than anything else. And we've heard things about that as well, as far as it being not a good environment because people didn't get a chance to sleep. You get me? Let's see. Prosecution says, "How long did you stay up once?" Ooh, she said 5 days. I take, I don't know if I can say that but a lot of patients who have ADD take it. I think it's ADHD, one of them. But they take it. It starts with an A, and raw is at the end of it. Okay. Extended release. I could quasi function. I don't. What does quasi function mean? I don't know. I could quasi function and stay awake. Prosecution says, when did you go to sleep? She says, my hearing went and my equilibrium was off. Blurred vision, lights that weren't there. I cried. Man, Dr. Rashida, how you doing? Uh, that's bad to go through that, man. That's bad. That's bad. Even being the owner, you got to look out for your employee. Oh, well, clearly we know he wasn't about that. But prosecution says, were you then told you could sleep? She said yes. By whom? She said Puffy Jacket. Why did you stay awake that long? She said I was working. Prosecution says I am introducing exhibits. All right, they about to come with the receipts. They about to come with the receipts. Well, Dr. Rashida, thank you for the dolphin. I appreciate it. Well, people, she's as advertised, man. She's as advertised. I am in no shape, form, or fashion disappointed in what she's doing and what she's saying. It's a long process. If like and can, I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry. That was the person that's updating us from the courtroom. Okay. Oh, okay, I got it. Ooh, that's neat. I didn't know that. So they got it set up to where if you subscribe to his channel, you can actually click and see the evidence. So ooh, that's not good to know. All right, hold on. Okay, let me see if they gave any update yet. If not, I'll have to go because I still haven't eaten breakfast yet, and I got to do that. It's important. Okay, so I'm gonna leave you all with this one right here. This will be the last one. Okay. Uh, Prosecution says, were you then told you could? Oh, we already read that. We already read that. Never mind. It's not a new one. Okay, let me refresh it one more time and see if you got a new one. By the way, if you're not busy at 5 o'clock this evening, go on Global Impact Wrestling TV on YouTube, and we will be having a Thursday night throwdown show on there. If you like pro wrestling, it's your self-proclaimed favorite host morphs into a video game character and wrestles. All right, yeah, they still hadn't. I don't know what they're doing. I guess they're still getting everything set up. All right, so look, that's gonna do it for today. Let's get cheeky. How you doing, bestie? You came in late as we wrapping up. Ah, but listen though. Uh, thank you for the swords. I appreciate that, bestie. Listen though, if you since you missed it, bestie, I am going to put it on the YouTube, right? So those of you that's missing my shows or would like to go back and watch past shows, go on my YouTube channel, which is G Smooth 404, and you can see past episodes of the show on there. Give me some time, and I'll have this one put up as well. But that's all for today. Today's show, man. Let's keep up with it. Widow Love, thank you for coming in and joining us. You are welcome at any moment, in any time here at hashtag I'm gonna say it. You are welcome to come back anytime. Thank you so much for participating and for the information you gave us, because a lot of that we didn't know. So I appreciate it. Hey, if y'all don't mind real quick, I just want to get a quick prayer in, all right? Let us bow. Father God, we come to you as your faithful servants. Father, we love you for the things that you have blessed us with in the times that we don't think to stop and give you thanks for it, Father, or for those times that we don't even recognize your blessing because it doesn't happen in the time that we would like for it to, or it doesn't come in the shape or the form that we would like it to, Father, that you forgive us for our ignorance, Father, and that we appreciate that blessing as well, Lord. Father, there's people that's sick and not feeling good right now. If you could just be a vessel of health and nourishment for them, Father, which we know you are the only one that's capable of being that, we would appreciate that, Lord, and we thank you for that, Father. Father, anybody who feels they are in a situation that there is no way out of, we pray that you put the hand of knowledge upon their heads and the strength and courage in their heart and let them know that you are the way out. And that you make no mistakes and you created them. They are your child. They are your children. Father, let them know that we are a vessel here, if need be, to help, Father. And we just thank you for allowing us to be that. We want to ask that you ask for your blessings as far as giving out this information on the situation that's currently going on now, Lord. And we pray that we do it in a will or in a way that is that you're thankful of or deserving of, right? And we're doing it the right way. That's all we want to do, Lord. And it's these things we ask in your name, Jesus Christ. I mean, in your son's name, Jesus Christ. Let us say amen. I'm gonna do one more. I know we closing up. Let me do one more. I'm just saying, cause like she's got me like I'm blown away, like how she came in. Okay. Let me give you these two. And then we're gonna close up. I promise. Okay. Here we go. These two. Prosecution. These exhibits are under seal. Defense Representative Steele says, we renew our objection. Judge says, admitted under seal. Prosecution says, Mia, what is this? She says, a list of my responsibilities. I sent to Tony Baez Fletcher on November 10, 2011. Puffy Jacket has said, I don't know what you do all day. Prosecutor says, let's focus on the few things in this document. Please read this, Mia. She says, all of Puffy Jacket's social media presence. She said PD. And the prosecution said, who is PD? They know, but they're just saying. She said, Puffy Jacket. Puffy Jacket. We'll say that again. I wrote main liaison between Puffy Jacket and Hollywood. The prosecution says, did you do that? She said, BlackBerry 24/7. So she was on her job. Yes, happy birthday to my niece. Right? Is it her birthday? That's what you talking about? All right. So look, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna close. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, all right, just making sure. We're gonna close out. You all have a blessed day. Be safe and keep an eye out on the trial, because I think we're gonna have a lot to talk about when we reconvene here, right? But this has been your self-proclaimed favorite news reporter, Mr. Breaking News, reporting from the newsroom. Peace and blessings to you all, and I'll see you later.